Hi, my name is Karen D, and I am the Twitchy Stitcher here and Twitchy Stitcher 01 on Instagram. This is FlossTube number 16, and today's date is June 12th, 2026, and this is my first Flossaversary. So it's going to be a little bit different this time. I want to welcome you all to my craft room, to all my friends, my new friends, and anybody who just dropped by who will be a future friend. Today I'm going to share all my WIPs. Yes, it's a WIP parade. I did one last June, which was my very first floss tube. So this is a year of WIPs. I'm also going to show you two finishes, 11 fully finishes. Yes, 11. It is a once a decade thing. So, yep, my RPG character is thanking me right now. I also want to remind you that Canada Swaps number 5 is ongoing for signups. Karen the Stitching Owl has a floss tube just about it. So if you're interested, if you're a Canadian and would like to swap a small, check out Karen the Stitching Owl's video on it. There's a lot to share. So everything is just kind of in piles. So we're going to just wing it and see what happens. Now, the first finish for June was my Needle Lot. This is called a bookmark, but as you can see by the size, it's pretty big. This is on 14 count, and it's by Lost Flower Blade by Needle Lot Designs, and there are, I believe, another second design on her website, but this is it. And I'm going to finish it as a wall hanging. A couple of my friends thought I should do it as part of a book binding, but I'm just going to do it as a wall hanging with a dowel. So now, trying to stay with the program. The next item, the other finish is fully finished, and this is the Fish Coral Mini. Sorry, I've got notes everywhere. It's by the Crafty Stitcher, and this is my ATC card for Laura's Stitching by the Shore ATC swap that I believe has to be mailed by about the 25th of June. And as you can see, it's Under the Sea, and that was the theme for this year's, she does 2 or 3 a year, but for this swap. And I thought that was so bright and pretty. And I love marine stitches, so. And the ATC card is 2.5 by 3.5. This is, I believe, on 16 count. The next thing are 4 finishes I have done for my daughter Carla. Over the past couple of years, I have done a series of Shannon Christines that she really liked. So I picked her up, just a frame from Amazon, and I have finished fully finished. This is Hello Autumn. And they're just on the sticky boards because they're going to be inserted into the frame. So she can switch them out. The second one is Hello Spring. As you can see, I chose a different background for each one. And if I didn't mention, they are Shannon Christine's, so anyone can tell at a glance. Hello Summer. And the final one, Hello Winter. She lives on Cape Breton Island. I'm in Southern Ontario. And she will be coming up in about 3 weeks because my oldest granddaughter is expecting a second baby, and she's going to be here right after that. So that's going to be fun. And she's going to pick it up then and take it back with her. Now, I also picked up a frame for myself. So this is a Shannon Christine pattern. It's a sewing sampler. And I finished this, I believe, last spring. So it's now in the frame. But I have done some Erin Elizabeth trees with Karen the Stitching Owl. We got several of them. I still have one I have not stitched yet, which is the stitching tree. But I finally finished the summer tree. The Valentine's tree. My daughter, my niece, and my sister-in-law are all Valentine's babies. So Valentine's Day is pretty important in our family. Then I did the Canada tree. And so I can switch these out as I choose. And Shannon Christine's Canada, I believe it's called July 1st. And you can't see the spring, the sparkle, but I did use some sparkle floss in this. And then I had done this earlier as a leaner, and I didn't like it, so it now can go in the frame. So that was a redo. So those are my finishes. Now, because it is a Flossaversary, I'm going to do something I very rarely do, and that's a giveaway. So this is a sew to stitch. It's a series of 3. This is the first one, Welcome. And these are on the plastic coated. So this is Welcome, which I finished and is in my daughter's home in Cape Breton Island. This I finished and it is hanging in my closet. It's not fully finished yet. And this one I have decided not to do. So if you would like to partake in a giveaway, which is Canada only, the code word is going to be soda. So if you're in Canada and you would like to have these patterns, just drop in the comment the word soda, and I will draw for this on my next floss tube. Now, WIPs and WIP Parade. So some of the information will not be up to the last minute because it's just, I just was not had the energy to do this. So the first thing I'm working on right now is the Pearl Collector. I guess I should show the picture first. I started this in August of 2025, and I had to restart it because I realized the fabric was a 17 count and the beads would not fit. So this is a restart of the Pearl Collector by Joan Elliott. And as you can see, I've got her arm and her lap and a couple of the ribbons done. So what I'm working on this WIPGO is I did her arm and her hand. I'm working on this ribbon. I've done her hair and I'm starting a ribbon up there. So she'll get 2,100 stitches for WIPGO for June. So I have 3 more days to work on her. Okay, the next one is my Lola Crow Stitch Museum After Midnight. I have been working on the frame. I got the frame done just in time, and I now have the first drop done. The second drop is later today, so I'll be working on it Saturday and Sunday. But this is, let me see if I can get it all in, Museum After Midnight. There you can see the whale. This drop was sea creatures. So that drop is done. So I am thrilled with it. I love the content. I like everything about it. So I am very happy to be working on this for the next 3 months. Let me see. The frame was 6,307 stitches, and I don't have a stitch count as of right now. So this was the frame. And these are like, there's red is the first drop, there's a second drop, a third drop, and a fourth drop. So we know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. So not everyone is retired and has time to do the frame and are working on both at the same time. So it's very, very gracious of Lola Crow to give us some extra info so everyone can work in the areas they want to. The next one is my Halloween stitch, Heart of Halloween. I'm working on this with Mary and Karen. Mary Stitching Corner and Karen. Oh no, do not do this to me, brain. The Stitching Owl. So this is a very lovely Halloween stitch. And I work on that the last 2 days of the month. And that's what I've got so far. As you can see, this is the part of the heart coming down here. And I thought I would get the house done. It is, there's a house and a cat that are big amount of stitches. So I thought I'd get the house done. But this is just a printed Ada. But it's like, I like Christmas things on blue. I like Halloween things on purple. So, but I really like this stitch. And I had to restart it because I didn't like the fabric it was on. But now I'm very happy with the fabric. So that's nice. The next thing is my Sunday morning stitch, Local Conditions by Satsuma Street. So this is my temperature stitch. I've never done one before, so this is the first year I've ever done a temperature stitch. And I really like it. I think it's fun. And this is up to date as of last Sunday. As you can see, in Southern Ontario, we're getting warm. And boy, am I happy about that. So, yeah, nice warm temperatures. We're Celsius, so it's like between 24 and 28, and I'm in my happy place. And this is on Kaylee fabric, Baba Ganoush, and it's 14 count. The next one is my pink flamingo, and it's Stitchcraft by Mary on Etsy, and that's this stunning flamingo. I have to admit, I really like pinks and greens together. There's something about it that is so bright and cheerful and just welcoming. It just hits me right here, and I love it. And right now, I believe I am at about 80%. So, I am working right up in here. I have to finish that pale color around here, and then it'll be done. And this has become my 100 stitch a day project for June. So it will be finished probably before you see me again. Because I think I have about 1,000, maybe 1,200 stitches to go. So yeah, but I love it. I think the flamingo is my lucky animal. And the next one, is WIPGO called for this month also. And it is the Snow White Tree by Tiny Modernist. Laura, Stitching by the Shore, is also doing this project. And that's it. So this month so far, I have done all of this. So I hope to get all of that done before it goes away again. So I started this in June of 2025, and this is on a 14 count Shirley Temple by the Sewing Shop, and it's a total of 10,000 stitches, and I am over 50%. So I have to do this base and then the top tier. So the top tier will be up there. The next one is Porthole to Paradise. I am doing this with Katherine of Accounting My Stitches and Pam of Daisy Stitches. And it's by Kyle Hollingsworth. And this is an old chart. Now I got this as a kit, but I think it was kitted up by a store because it has the leaflet and all the threads and the fabric. And the fabric is a dark navy blue. And I decided to do it on a medium blue to be nicer and more gentle to my eyes. And so I have the large whale, the orca, and I'm starting to do some of the surface water. Now the tail will still have, the whale tail is still hanging below it, but because this is an old pattern, I was only able to get the top 2 pages and the bottom 2 pages into Pattern Caper separately. And I want to tell you, I worked on that whale's mouth on a Zoom, and just the head of the whale was over 600 stitches. In 3 colors. And boy, was I glad to start working on the orca. And that's part of Charlie's, well, hello there sale. So it will continue to be worked on. I've had that pattern a long time, and I was glad to have an excuse to start it. The next thing is my Monday project. Every Monday I work on Mermaid's Realm by Joan Elliott. It's monochromatic, but it does have one other color of Krynic braid. But I haven't started putting that in yet. I haven't actually bought it because I think I'm doing the color in dark purple, but I really think I want to do the Krynic in a turquoise, and I'm having a problem finding the turquoise I want. So this is it so far. And it's a long, so I'm gonna do this just as a wall hanging. But I started the bottom of the mermaid. Her tail swoops around here, and I've got this done. So that's the last little bit I've done. And you see it's really pretty purple. I really love it. And this is also Baba Ganoush. When Kaylee brought this fabric out, I immediately bought a second piece. In fact, I bought about a fat half because I just loved it so much. And this I started in the beginning of January. And it's on 16 count, and it has a total of 22,000 stitches, and I believe I am at 35 or 36%. So I'm hoping to get it done by the end of the year, but we'll see. No pressure, it's just every Monday I work on it, about 500 stitches. The next one is the Sunflower Fairy. And again, Joan Elliott, love blues and yellows. Pinks and greens, blues and yellows. That's me. But I love these sunflowers. They're absolutely stunning. And this has been called for WIPGO last month. And so this is it so far. As you can see, my Joan Elliott's, they're large pieces. It is 22,000 stitches, and this is on Dirty Martini by the Sewing Shop. And so it's called in WIPGO. I started it in September 2025. Was the restart. That's right. I started this on a green fabric that I just could not get to soften up at all. So I did a restart on this. And I'm really glad I did. I love the new fabric. See? I'm getting stacks. Now the stacks are going in a different direction. Okay, the next one. Got a couple boards to help me because some of the fabrics are nice and soft. So this is by the Witchy Stitcher, and it's called the Black Pearl. But what I've done is I renamed it to the Blue Pearl, and it's a pirate ship. So let me show a picture of it. I have a terrible picture. It just wouldn't print right. But Katie, Jeremiah's mom, is also doing this one in blue, but she's still calling it the Black Pearl. So as you can see, I'm just starting to do the Kraken. It's coming up here. Most of the sails are done. So I have a little bit more to do here, and then the bottom of the ship and the Kraken are what's coming up next. So this is I worked on it in March and April. I'm at 64%. I started this in March. And the total stitch count is 5,768. And I'm doing it in one strand of Floss. And it's excellent coverage. I'm really pleased with this. So the next one I have not worked on this year. So it is by Shannon Christine, the Rainbow Band Sampler. I started this in April of 2025, and it has not been called for WIPGO yet. And there's where I'm at. This is on 16 count white Ada, and it has a stitch count of 13,000 stitches. And I am at 28%. So hopefully that will be called soon, because I have not worked on it in a while, and I kind of miss it. Now I have one other giveaway, and I thought it only fair I give away a Joan Elliott. So these are two patterns that are new, but I've had them for quite a while, and I've just decided I am not going to do them. So I thought it would be so nice just to share them with someone who loves Joan Elliott. So if you're in Canada and you're interested in winning this pattern, the first one is Home is Where the Cat Is. Now this is a large chart. It is 200 by 260, I believe. So it is not a small stitch. But I've had it for a while, and I just know I'm not going to do it. And the other one is the Frost Goddess. Now this does have chronic and beads, so it's a typical Joan Elliott, where the cat's one is not. And she's stunning. And Joan has several goddesses, but I just decided I'm not going to do this one. I just have too many other favorites around. So if you would like to enter, the code word will be Joan. So if you're in Canada, please feel free to put your name in for the draw. I will be doing one other draw next time worldwide. So I just haven't got it set up for right now, but there will be a worldwide draw next time I do a floss tube. So it just didn't work out to get it done this time, but I will be working on it. The next WIP is Whole Lotta Latte, and it is a dimension kit by Barbara Tortolotti. And I fell in love with this when I saw Jen, the caffeinated crafter, complaining about it all the time. And why I would start a project someone else was complaining about is beyond me, but I did, and I like it. And this is on 14 count partridge. And this is it so far. I still have 2 cups. Yes, 2 cups to go. So I have one that's shaped like a teacup, and then I have a little espresso cup on top of it. And I really like this. So once this is done, we have a coffee area in our dining room, and hopefully this will hang there. And that was called in March, so I have worked on it recently, and it should be called again this year because my WIPGOs all got 3 times around. So they each got will have 3 months of being worked on. Now, the next one is Time Traveler by Joan Elliott. I started it in May. It's on my WIPGO, but it hasn't been called. So all I did was got it to 12%. And so this is the Time Traveler by Joan Elliott. And what I have done is because of the kryonic in her skirt, I couldn't find a kryonic I liked. The one that was called for is just unavailable. I tried a treasure braid and didn't like it. I didn't like it there. I didn't like that color. So it was just what I changed it for just wasn't what I wanted. So I decided just to do a navy blue in there. So instead of the kryonic, that's just done in regular DMC colors. So you can see this is the top of her jacket, her belt, and the top part of her skirt. And it is just on a white Aida. So I will be glad to get to that. I just love my Jones. And the next one, this is the Joan Elliott show. Let's just call it that. Just call it what it is. And this one is Canadian Beauty. And I started this in February of 2024. And as of April, it was called for WIPGO. It's at 53%. And this is on the Kaylee Fabric Easy Breezy Lemon Squeezy. And I'm going to get a board underneath there. This is it so far. You can see the metallics in the leaves. I haven't done any of the beads yet because she'll go on a scroll frame to get the beads done. So any of the kryonic that is not long stitches, I will do it while I'm working on the piece. And then I'll go back and do the beads at the end. As you can see, the wolf and the owl are finished. I'm working on a bunch of, right down here is wild violets that have stems and everything to go in there yet. But she is truly a Canadian beauty. Thanks, Joan. Let me see. The next one is Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch. This is her Anne Boleyn. It was hanging in the Evertotes, but they changed it out. And that's it so far. And she has beads, but I haven't done them yet. I started this in January of 2025, so it's another one that needs to get done this year. And I'm at 94%, so 389 stitches remain. So she's going to be 100, one of my monthly 100 stitches a day to get her done. So as you can see, I just need to finish up her lace collar and her head and hair in that. So she's very close to being finished, so hopefully she'll come out soon. The next one is a second dimensions kit. I don't do a lot of dimensions kit, but this one really spoke to me, and it is Vintage Simplicity. And I saw Tina of Tina's Stitches doing this. She's finished it probably months ago. But when she was doing it, I just loved it so much, I bought the kit myself. I started it on October of 2023. This, even though I got the PDFs from the company, it does not go into Pattern Keeper. And it's difficult to work on digitally, and that's the only way I can really work on it. So it's just been a slow go. But it is on my WIPGO. It will be worked on this year. And as you can see, I'm working on that coral lady right now. The first one, the blue lady, is done, except for all the long stitches in that, and I will do those at the end. So I am working on the coral lady, and hopefully next time she gets called, I'll be able to finish the top of her, and then I'll have the gold lady to go, and then just the background, which is half stitches. But she is lovely, and I am looking forward to having her framed. We're getting there, folks. I know this has been a long video. The next part of the Joan show is the Sorceress. And I started that in May of 2024. That was my birthday start for last year. I just love that. I could sit here and just look at Jones. I just look at them and enjoy them. But this is on 14 count, and I can't remember the name of the fabric right now. Like I said, I don't have all the information for everything. It was just a lot. And this is her so far. Katherine and Leigh has got this finished and framed, and it's absolutely stunning. And it was called in March, and it is at 42%. So I almost have the top half done. But I love this sunset fabric. I hope my pile doesn't topple. And continuing on with the Joan show, this is the Water Goddess. This is the one I restarted in April. I had it quite a bit done, but I was extremely unsatisfied with my stitching of the face. And rather than take it all out, I restarted. So it is 17,000 stitches, and it was called for April's WIPGO. And because I was so unhappy with the face, I did the face first. And you can see her face is so lovely, even without the back stitching. I love it. So when she comes out next, I'll probably be doing her hair and the flowers in her hair, and then her long strands coming down here. Her flesh is mostly done. So all that's left is, and then once I've done that, I'm going to start on her skirt. So this has still got quite a ways to go. It's at 3.5%. So, yes. The next one is my Christmas stitch or winter stitch. I do it a couple times around the 24th or the 25th of each month. And this is the Northern Cardinal, which I was doing this with so many friends, and so many people are working on them. But Karen and I showed you the comparisons on our last Y2K, because I changed the colors from the original. She also did changes, and we did it on 2 variety of fabrics and counts, and it was really good. So if you get a chance to watch that Y2K, we really went into depth in discussing this project. So this is just on Zweigart Rustico 18 count oatmeal, and this is my only 1/1 stitch. And I started working on the wings. I finished his tail, his claws, the tree house, birdhouse is done. So I went back up into his wings because for some reason this is not an easy stitch for me. It's kind of tough. So I've been going back and forth between the reds and the trees, and there's a big branch underneath there I'm going to start working on soon. So I'm going to continue working on it, but it's just, I'm not sure why it's just not an easy stitch. It doesn't seem to flow. And I don't know if it's because I do so many Joan Elliot's that just the colors flow. So, but I will continue to do on, because I would like to have it done by Christmas. So I'd like to have it up for the Christmas season. The next one is my Edwardian dollhouse sampler that I work on every month. It's my leap year sal, and this is Maria Diaz's. As you can see, I took it right out of the magazine. This came from my favorite cross-stitch magazine ever, Cross Stitch Collection, which is not around anymore, and it breaks my heart every time I think about it because it was my favorite. But this was in 3 sections, and as you can see, it's quite intricate. And as there's going to be a girl grandbaby in June, well, great grandbaby for me, this will have a home once I get it finished. And this is another one I hope to finish this year. If not this year, it'll be at the beginning of 2027, as much as I don't want to think about plans for that year yet. So this is it so far. I need to be taller. As you can see, I'm working on the dining room right now. And there's still another layer that's the gate and the bushes and the little fence and that from the front of the house. So this is a big sucker. So it is my leap year sale, so I started last leap year, and my intent was finished before the next leap year. And I think it is at 86% right now. So it is in the final stages, let's say. And I have been staying caught up with the back stitching because there's a lot of back stitching on this piece. So as I finish a room, I spend a couple days back stitching, because there is so much of it and it's very integral to the piece. So without the back stitching, it's just kind of blobby things. So yes, at 86%. So I'm going up about 3% a month. So like I said, it could be done by December, but it might be beginning of the year. And the last WIP I'm going to show you today is Enchanted Rachel by Teresa Gill. And this was my oldest WIP. Now, she's finished, except for all the beads and backstitch. So she's on a scroll rod waiting to be called. She has a frame around her that I did not do. I just like the lady, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of detail in there. So it's a massive amount of backstitching and probably several hundred beads. So hopefully she'll be called soon. But yeah, she's going to be quite stunning. I call her my gypsy lady. And let me see. That is the end of the WIP parade. Now, a couple things. I do Laura Stitching by the Shore. I do her I Spy challenge. And in May, she did something different. She did a song. From The Sound of Music, these are my favorite things. Everyone knows that song. Anyway, I failed spectacularly at trying to get WIPs to go with the words. I realized that because I only do a limited amount of WIPs in a month, I didn't have the range to work on such an energetic challenge. So I failed spectacularly at it, but I am looking forward to June's I Spy. My RPG character this month, I got around 700 points. I don't have it written down right this minute what it is, but my character, it was a strength challenge. So the strength numbers run from, I believe, 3 to 16 or 3 to 18. And I got a 12, so I'm firmly in the mid-range, so I'm happy about that. And I don't know too much more else about the strength. So I guess just once you're playing with it, you have a certain amount you can accomplish. I'm looking around at all the stacks. I think that's it. I want to thank you all for watching, commenting. Please enter the draws and don't say any of the words that bring the trolls. Don't win, prize, all that stuff. Just the word, either soda for the soda stitch or Joan for the 2 Joan Elliots. I want to ask you to please remember to watch Karen the Stitching Owl next Friday. Well, she'll be released next Saturday. But I'm sure she'll talk about Canada Swaps again. So please watch the Canada Swaps video if you're interested in swapping a small. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful, warm weekend. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Bye.